Huzzah, and well met to all of the spelunkers and cavers among my bannermen and ladies. And today I have for you not the high-speed minecart loaders that I had talked about in the previous video, but a circuit of my own design, or at least I arrived at it without any outside help or research. I will not say that this is a completely unique thing. I'm sure someone has done something similar before, but I did manage to work this one out all on my own while looking at budding amethyst blocks and wondering how I might make something that harvests all of my budding amethyst blocks at one time. And this is what I've arrived at. So, budding amethysts grow amethyst shards, and there are 4 stages of growth. And you want to wait until the maximum stage, like this one. I'll try and give you the best view of it, or the most upright view I can get. But there's one, two, let's see if we have a level 3. That looks like a level 3, or a 3rd stage, and then our 4th stage, as I said. So what we want to happen is when our crystals reach 4th stage, or this one specifically that our observer is looking at, we want to not activate pistons to automatically harvest these until it reaches 4th stage. So how might we do that? And this is how. We have an observer watching this crystal grow. We don't want it to be looking right at the budding amethyst block. We want it to look at the growing crystal in front of it. Anytime it sees growth, it's going to activate, and it's going to trigger this dropper. Now the dropper is facing upward, and you can see that it's observed this crystal growth one time. There are 4 shovels in the dropper, well, 3 that you can see, and it sends one up to this hopper, which is locked by this redstone torch, so it can't come back down. Now, we talked about in a previous video that a comparator in normal mode will not send a signal forward until the signal it gets from behind is greater than the signal it gets from the side. So this comparator reading into this hopper sees 4 shovels in the hopper, giving it that signal strength. We do not want this circuit to activate until there are 4 shovels in this hopper as well. At which point, our comparator will send the signal forward because the signal strength from this hopper behind is equal to or less than, or equal to or greater than the signal it's getting from the side. It will, if they are equal, it prioritizes the signal from behind. So that will activate these repeaters, or this repeater, excuse me, powering this concrete block. And my goodness, that is a vibrant blue since we got the latest update and the new lighting engine, or lighting options, I suppose. Powering this repeater, powering this concrete block, powering these 2 repeaters, also on 4 ticks, powering this concrete block, which will deactivate this torch and unlock the hopper, allowing all 4 shovels to fall back into the dropper. This will only happen as this crystal grows to its 4th stage. So to simulate that, we're going to take those shovels away. We're going to pretend that the crystal grew up to stage 2, stage 3, and finally stage 4. Our circuit activates, and all of the shovels fall back into the dropper. So this was the original design that I made, with that's elevated here. This one over here is a variation where it's all just sitting on the ground. And with our repeaters, you need to have 3 repeaters on 4 ticks, which is a total delay of 12 plus 1 for our repeater not using any extra delay. So a delay of 13 is generally enough for our hopper to be emptied back out. And you'll see as we demonstrate the same thing, our observer observes stage 1, stage 2 growth, stage 3 growth, and final stage growth. and our hopper is given enough time to empty everything back out into the dropper, and our whole system resets. Now, this is a narrow version where it's stacked atop itself so that our system can still work. And on this one, I just happened to put all 4 observers on 3 ticks, and we get the same result. The hopper here is locked by this torch that's on top of it or over top of it. We get the same effect. The difference with this one is that there's a bit of redstone dust going from our lock our locking signal hopper. So perhaps you might have to make some adjustments. See, this one is at second stage growth, and you'll see that there's 2 shovels pushed in there. Unstacking items are the best use for our stages here, but using wooden shovels is our cheapest option for unstackable items that we don't want to just throw away or use for other reasons. So get yourself a pile of wooden shovels for something like this. We've done it before for maintaining certain levels of signal. And honestly, this world is not that old. It says 0 days played, and these crystals are growing fairly quickly. So, that's all well and good, but how do we use this? Well, what we want is for that signal, when everything is activated or when our crystal is fully grown, we want the signal to go to our hoppers that will break the crystals on the other side or other sides of our budding amethyst here. So, how we do that is we're going to use just plain pistons, and we want them to extend so that they break the crystals when our circuit is activated. So the most obvious place we would do that is to not put a concrete block there. We would put a redstone dust and run that line over to, actually, let's do it this way. We would run that redstone signal to our piston. And then when this crystal grows up, we're just going to assume that most of the rest of the crystals have grown at least some, but we would like for them all to be this size. That gives us our greatest yield for something like this. And we have, oh, because I demonstrated that whole ordeal, our shovels are not in place properly. What we should have is 3 still in the dropper and 1 in the hopper because of what our observer is seeing here. But because I manually demonstrated, and you'll see it's broken. Beyond that, I don't have much else to describe about this. This is obviously going to be a shorter video, but I'll fill it in with a little bit of homework for the life of the channel and what to expect in the future, or at least the short-term future anyways. With budding amethysts, we are unable to move them as of now. Not even Silk Touch can collect this block. So you will have to find a geode, mine out everything around it, or everything around each of these blocks, and manually place all of your pistons in a configuration that will break all of your crystals for you. It does not always work out super well. They're randomly placed within the geode, and you will have to figure it out. But you can run this whole circuit or whole machine from one of these circuits. So if we wanted a piston here as well. I suppose we would have to make that a slab or glass, and you'll have to just work your way through exactly how to run all of your wiring to all of your pistons. But what we would do here is use the glass so that our redstone wire can step down and hit that piston as well, so that when this is filled up again at stage 4 of this crystal, you see that our pistons were activated, and you can figure out how to place your pistons so that all 6 sides of the budding amethyst block are scraped clear of crystals. But at any rate, that, oops, don't want to break the platforms. That is exactly how I would set up an amethyst piston farm. You would go from this bit of redstone dust as well to and connect that to all of your pistons as they or as the circuit fires, so that they all scrape off all of the amethyst shards. So that's all I have for you today. It's been a rather busy weekend, and I apologize that I don't have the research done yet into high-speed minecart loaders, high-speed smart automatic minecart loaders, but we'll get there. Secondly, I do want to touch on the playlist that I had been working on, which is moving your items from place to place. I have a video of the Allay that is not that old. So that one will be included in the playlist, and I will put a display portion into my display world that we've been working with and the concurrent download so that the Allay are included, but I'm not going to make a video or a new video on Allay handling. I'm just going to include the old video on Allay handling so that you know how to move your items with an Allay or a group of Allay. And then that way it completes the playlist but doesn't recycle content pointlessly. Like sometimes, yes, I do remake videos for update reasons or just because I think I can do a better job. And I don't want to do that because the Allay video is still, one, not that old, and two, it's still some of my better work, so I'm happy with it. Um, but we are coming to a close with the playlist for moving your items from place to place. And then there's going to be another playlist about storing your items. So that will include things like our shulker box loaders, our storage silos or towers, and different ways of sorting items. So stay tuned for all of that. We're not running out of anything to do around here. I was just particularly proud of this circuit and arriving at this myself. So I hope you are all blessed on your next quest, and I am off to my next adventure. Thank you all again for your likes, subscribes, and comments. Even if all you do is check in to say huzzah, I love to hear it. We'll see you all next time.